Now, in the U.S., official figures indicate that the economy got off to an even weaker start this year than previously estimated. The U.S. Commerce Department reported on Friday that the overall economy shrank at an annual rate of 0.7% in the January to March period. The figure measured by gross domestic product was a reversal of the initial 0.2% growth for the period reported last month. It also marked the first decline in economic output in the U.S. since the first 3 months of 2014, when the economy contracted at a 2.1% rate. Economists believe a large trade deficit and slower consumer spending, as well as harsh winter weather, caused the downward revision. However, they are expecting a rebound in the current quarter, hoping the economy would strengthen later this year. Well, to discuss that further, we're now joined by Mr. Dean Henderson, who is the author of Big Oil and Their Bankers, and he's joining us live now via Skype from Missouri. Mr. Henderson, as always, the question remains, how is the U.S. economy really doing?
Well, it's not doing good. We're already basically, this is the first month that we're growth slipped, so we're one away from a recession as far as quarters. But it's official stuff. I mean, it's really you get out into the countryside and the cities and talk to people, ordinary people, and we're already in a depression. It's the only thing holding the illusion that we're not in a depression is that the stock market is going through the roof, and they're doing this by financializing assets and all kinds of derivatives and hedge funds and the typical manipulation of these markets actually. And so now they've gotten a lot of the small people back into the stock market, and when that leg collapses, everybody will know for sure that we're in a depression, because it's not going to be good. The only other option, it seems, right now, and the central bankers are working hard on this option, is to start World War III. And it's kind of a sick choice that we're in here, I'm afraid. I don't see any other way out of it without the government spending and stimulus and infrastructure spending by the government of the United States, which we need and which the right-wing Congress will just simply not allow. If they pass the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Fast Track, in the House, then we've got another European trade bill. We've got an African free trade bill. They're going to pass them all at the same time. It'll continue to gut the United States as a manufacturing place where things are made, and will become this financialization, financial services, service industry economy, even more so than we already are. And those aren't good jobs, even if people do have jobs.
Indeed, and so essentially what you're describing is it almost seems like there's a facade occurring right now, especially when it came to that talk of the manipulation rates and holding banks to account, that huge deal that was made in the U.S. media about that. How long will this facade last for before people do realize what's really going on?
Well, I don't think it's going to last much longer, because economic reality tends to catch up. And it's not just the United States. The entire global economy, especially those countries that are tied in with the globalization, are all reeling, including China, which is supposed to be the engine right now, and it's not behaving. So it's just a simple matter of technology replacing jobs is one thing. It's a matter of mergers and acquisitions, which always reduce jobs. And we've merged every industry to the point where there's no redundancies, as they call them. And so it's just less workers. When you say more redundancies, it means we have less workers, and workers and jobs and good paying jobs is what we need. And yet, as I say, we have this right-wing climate in this country where there's no will to even fix Amtrak when it breaks, just the train. I mean, what's wrong with the train, but can't even fix the train. So that's kind of where we're at on this side of the pond, I'm afraid.
Okay, we'll leave it there at that. But as always, Mr. Henderson, we appreciate your insight. That was Dean Henderson, who was speaking to us live from Missouri.